Hello everybody and welcome back to another video. Today we are doing something a little bit different. We are sim racing in Assetto Corsa. This is an online race through the sim racing system, and this is an online race with the Race Sim Studio Formula 3 car at the Red Bull Ring. Now these races are 20 minutes long with a 10-minute qualifying, and what you're watching here is the last lap, my last lap in qualifying, which was my best. So far I've had a pretty terrible qualifying session. I'm currently 12th place and I'm 2.3 seconds off pole, as you can see from the bottom of the screen. And this lap is not going any better because we are 3/10 down already, and only a couple of corners into the lap. Now, my previous best lap did make a big mistake at the end of the lap, so I'm expecting it to come down a little bit at the end. You can see that car there was only just avoided. I did get scared on that lap, to be honest. These races on the sim racing system are probably the best you can get in Assetto Corsa due to the ranking system, and yeah, the quality of racing. You can see there in the second last corner I hit the curve a bit, which pushed me out onto the big red curve on the outside, so I wasn't able to turn in great for the last corner, but still about 3/10 up on the previous best, and that puts us 10th place, but still 1.4 seconds off pole, so I wasn't very happy with the qualifying session at all, really. But now, putting qualifying to the side, we line up 10th on the grid. I'm hoping to move up the grid a bit here. We've changed the soft tyres that we used for qualifying for the mediums, which should hold up a bit better in the race. I also had some issues with overheating in the qualifying as well, so this should be a bit better. We get off to a pretty good start. We opened DRS immediately, even though, you know, in real life you wouldn't be allowed to, but it's not enforced here. Try to be a bit cautious into turn 1. You can see we almost made contact there with the car on the left. We actually have to back out a bit there, so not the best run through turn 1, but still we haven't lost any places yet. And in these races it's all about just keeping everything clean in the first lap, because if you damage your car and get a bit of damage on your wing, it really hampers you throughout the rest of the race. So we made one place there through the spinning car, and then we coming around this corner we also have to make some avoiding action. Luckily we do, and we don't make any contact with the spinning cars, but unfortunately in doing so we lost out to another 3 or 4 cars that got past us. So back down to 12th and a bit more work to do. Fortunately that guy wanted to go through the stones, so we'll take that place from him. Really close here to 10th place. A bit of a half-hearted move there, if I'm honest, not the best, and that sort of hampered my run then through the last 2 corners. We have Thomas right up close behind us, so we might have to defend a bit into turn 1. We have the DRS open, as most others do. We managed to keep 11 there, but got a bit sideways on the exit, so Thomas might have a bit of a run on us, but we also have a run on Philip in front. Going to the inside here, trying to spot the braking points. We do just about get it stopped and have a big moment on the exit too and run over the curb, but luckily we did make it, although Philip is starting to come back at us. Going to the outside, trying to brake not too late to make sure I still make the corner, and Thomas, or Philip that time, does not get past us. This car is really so much fun. It's a really good challenge, and there's a perfect mix, I think, in Formula 3 of aero, but then also having to actually work with the mechanical grip we have as well, because they're not stuck to the track like the F1 cars would be. So now we have a bit of space ahead of us, trying to get in just some clean lap times really, because you can see after only 2 laps we're already 9.6 seconds off the lead. And although the lead is the win here is probably a long shot away, I do want to make my way up as high as I can get in this race. Sim racing system is probably the best way you can go racing online in Assetto Corsa. It offers a real sort of iRacing environment to do so, and you get points in those rankings, and you're paired with drivers of the same sort of ability level as you, and it's in your best interest to finish in the higher positions to get more points, and also to have as little incidents as possible as well. It tends to promote good clean racing, which is really fun in Assetto Corsa. So this lap has been much improved over the first two. It's calmed down a bit now and everyone is starting to just get on with the race. We're almost a whole second really, or 8/10 up on the previous best lap. Oh, and Edward goes for a spin. We luckily avoid him, but again, just really hampers your run through there, and I had to jump over the curb, so I lost a bit more time there. And you can see on that lap, the lead gap is up to 10.8, so we're really losing a lot of time. I didn't have much time to practice in this car track beforehand, and I don't really have any setup on the car. It's pretty much just as it comes. I just altered the wings and the tire pressures really, so I think as the race gets on, I start to become a lot more comfortable with the car and start to make a lot more time. That was okay there. We sort of gained a bit from errors in front, and we get past Marco for 8th place. Marco a bit wide there into that turn, get a bit of space on him. And again, we're just constantly trying to make the way up the field without losing time. Oh, and that's another mistake. Oh, and he collects Marco, you can see in the mirror. My word. That's 2 cars now we've got past from doing that, so if any more want to do that, I won't stop them. 7, again, getting really wide there onto that curve, and it really slows you down, so you just can't turn into the last corner when you're out there. But that has been, again, my personal best lap. It's still 11.6 seconds off the lead. It's such a long way in only 3 laps or 4 laps now. That right there has probably been my first completely clean lap without any major incidents, and that has been our fastest one also. It's a 19.9, but still a long way off what the leader's pace is at the moment, so still a lot of time to find around the lap. Great run there on George or Jorge, I'm not entirely sure on the pronunciation, but that was a fantastic move, I have to say, on the outside. I really enjoyed making that one, really late on the brakes and trying to make it stick, and also putting so much faith and trust into the other car as well to get things slowed down and not just run into you. but great lap, and I also didn't lose much time, because normally if you're trying to pass people you tend to lose a bit of time, but I'm still up on my personal best lap so far, so all things going a lot better than they did at the start. You can see on the bottom right, a 19.3 is the fastest lap of the race that was just set. So I'm only 4/10 off the fastest lap now, starting to get into a good rhythm. And that was a pretty good run off Simon in the slipstream, trying to get as much speed as I can. Maybe make a dive here. He defends the inside, so I try to go around the outside and do a cutback maybe. Give him space, and then that was a bit close, but did work out in the end. Got past him, and now he's back in my toe trying to get back past, so I have to defend the inside, but he goes to the inside anyway, and then he backs out of it. That was a bit scary to be honest. I thought I was over enough to the right that he wouldn't think about going down to the right, but he did, and I was kind of a bit taken by surprise there, but at least nothing bad happened, and I still kept my 5th position. There's now a good gap to the cars in front, so there's the top 2 cars which are separated by 1.2, and then there's a close battle for 3rd as well, which is about 5 seconds on the road ahead of me, so let's get our head down here and try to see if we can make some inroads on the cars in front. You can actually see there that one of the cars that was battling for the lead has made a mistake. You can see Ted Haggard there on the right, the real time. He's now in 4th. You can see at the start of the lap he was in P2, so he must have made a mistake, and he's now dropped back behind the battle for now 2nd was 3rd. I'm hoping now at this point that those 3 cars ahead of me that are quite close on the road start to fight amongst themselves and slow themselves down so I can catch up to them. Bottom right there we see a 19.2 has now become the fastest lap of the race, and that was a terrible lap for me. So losing out to the race lead, but hopefully my eyes are now set on 3 cars in front. And hopefully we'll be able to make some progress on them in the last couple of laps. there with just under 7 minutes to go. Ted Haggard, who was just ahead of us on the road, I don't know if he just left or if he spun and then left, but I'll take it anyway. So that's us up into 4th now instead of 5th, and we're also after completing our fastest lap of the race. I'm really pushing as hard as I can here because I really want to catch the guys in P2 and 3, and I am making good progress on them. It's only 4 seconds now. It used to be almost 6 seconds was the gap. And it is also at this point that I am noticing Irio Ottinen, who is behind us and closing in rapidly as well. He is going faster than I am, but I'm also going faster than the guys in front. So this is really shaping up to be a very exciting finish and a very intense fight because I am pushing as hard as I can at this point. See on the bottom right there, Marco Monito, who we were actually battling earlier, so he must have had some issues if he's only crossing along now. Just did a 1:19.1, which is now the fastest lap of the race and 3/10 quicker than our best. Although this lap we can see we are 3/10 or over 3/10 up on our best, so we look like we're on target to take the fastest lap of the race on this lap. But after losing some time at the end there, I made a few mistakes in the last couple of corners and we don't get the fastest lap of the race, but still lapping faster than the cars ahead of us still, and it's now, what, 3.5 seconds, so that was half a second on that last lap. That turn 2 at the top of the hill, or is it 3? I'm not quite sure if the kink is regarded as a corner, but that corner that we just went through there, it was so hard during this race to get that right, because if you got on the throttle just a tiny bit early, you got oversteer, and it was a horrible kind of oversteer that just shot you in the other direction. It was really hard to manage that. You had to get on the throttle so slowly, but I think as the race went on I was able to manage that a bit more. In practice and qualifying I had a few moments there where I completely looped the car and had to start the lap again. Much nicer end to the lap there, and we improve our personal best by 10th of a second, and we are now under 3 seconds to the car in front. So we are definitely making progress, but will it be fast enough? Because we only have, what, 3.5 minutes left in the race. Again, that corner with the little twitch halfway through it was really unpleasant. A bit too aggressive and a bit too greedy in there, if I'm honest. The front sort of washed out. It was asking a bit much of the front end there, and we put a lot of stress into the tyres. You can see from the top left they went a bit orange, overheating it just a little bit, but we got a good end to the lap. We're still making progress on the cars ahead. That's another 10th on our personal best. 19.0 from the car ahead, fastest lap. And we set the fastest lap at a 19.0, but then Irio comes behind us and also sets the fastest lap, 3/10 quicker than what we managed. But we are now 1.8 seconds behind Radoslaw, I think, in front of us, but we do have Irio closing in behind us as well. Bit better through there. There wasn't as much, there wasn't any oversteer, but I still didn't get as much of a good run as I would have wanted to. Also note on the bottom left, the pedal box there. my brake pedal, I really need to calibrate the dead zone on that, because I have a very old G27 and the brake pedal is a bit sticky, so it tends to think it's on even though I'm not on the brake, so I really need to sort out that dead zone because it is slowing me down a tiny bit on the straight, I think. It's at this point as well that I'm very nervous about my fuel level. I fueled myself for 15 laps, not really knowing how. I sort of guessed as to how many laps I do here, and it's time limited of course, not laps, but there's a tiny amount of fuel left in the car, as you can see from the top, and I'm unsure whether this will actually be the last lap. I don't even know if I can make it to the end of this race. And I'm very nervous because I know that if the race goes on for another lap after this, then I definitely won't have enough fuel and I'll have to retire. But look how close we are now to a podium position. We're in the slipstream here. We have the DRS wide open, as does the car in front. We get so close there, but we were just too far behind to make an attempt at a pass. And my fuel level just keeps going down, and I'm very, very nervous that I will have to do another lap and get up on the curb there and just throws me to the left. So that gave the car in front a bit of breathing space for the moment, but my main concern at this point is just my fuel. But thankfully the clock does run down to 0 just before the race winner crosses the line to take the win, and we come home in a very respectable 4th, I think, after starting in 10th and making our way through the field. I am very happy with that result. So that was a very intense race, and one that I very much enjoyed. I was on the limit for that entire race. So please do let me know if you enjoyed watching this video. Hit the like or the dislike button if you liked or disliked it, and please subscribe to the channel for more videos like this and to see more things in the future, and also leave a comment and say something down below. Thank you all very much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Goodbye.